We were under a dark bridge, and we were visited by Satan incarnate.
There were so many mosquitoes.
We were just doing some nice, easy fishing, bobber fishing.
Yeah, that was fun.
Bobber
was really
fishing,
fun.
yeah, because then you just throw it out there, and you can kind of see it just sink or not. And next thing we know, what slithers its way up onto the shore?
Well, it slithered its way onto my hook.
Yeah, it's called a long
gar.
Long face gar.
Something like that. I don't know.
Long nose gar.
It looks like a skinny miniature snake alligator.
It's what was in the Garden of Eden, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Welcome to the Groove Life Podcast with Shane and Micah Lunsford.
Estamos contentos de que estés aquí. Siéntate, relájate y disfruta el show.
I just want to know what makes you groove.
A nice light roast coffee, first thing in the morning.
I mean, really, I just like tacos. Anything tacos. You can even put lasagna in a fucking taco. I wouldn't care. Mike's, I did not say that.
Come on, Dad. I was sitting right next to you.
You would never even...
I heard
2 days ago.
I heard you.
You've got like stain all over your hand.
I actually don't.
Oh, that's a pretty good job then.
If I was wearing shorts, you would see it all over my legs.
Really?
Yeah.
You've been staining.
Staining
How many
all
hours
day.
did you stain today?
We stained like 3 hours today. Getting ready to finish building out the Murphy bed.
The Murphy bed.
What did you just do? You
I
spilled
just
all over yourself?
Spilled.
Good work. Good work. No, we finished the Murphy bed a while ago, but this is like we're going to start building the shelves.
And we're going to make it,
Make it more pretty.
yeah, in the studio.
Yeah.
No one will ever know there's a bed there.
No, they're going to think it's just a giant.
Right now, it just
Cupboard.
looks like some Friends episode, and you're in one of their rooms, and it's just like this bed that just comes out from the wall. Because I don't think there was a Murphy bed in
Why
Friends.
is
I'm
that
just
a
thinking of
Friends
like a
episode?
bachelor pad. A bachelor pad.
I mean, because all you look at right now is just sheets of OSB. It doesn't look cool.
yeah, and springs and a bed. So
Yeah.
yeah. But you were in the heat.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't that bad. We were under a tree in the shade, and the breeze was kind of nice.
Really, 90-some degrees outside though. It was perfect. Huh?
Honestly, wasn't that bad. We took breaks, went inside, had a bunch of water.
Drank a lot of water.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It was good.
So are you done yet?
No, it's
No.
going to take a while.
Yeah.
I feel like this might take longer than the bed itself, more because we don't have a bunch of free time for
Right.
it, so we're just going to have to split
It's
it
just
up
a
for while.
project. You're just going to work on it for a
Yeah.
while. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you're going to sleep there.
In the Murphy bed?
Yeah.
I've slept in there once so far.
Yeah.
It's pretty comfy.
Not bad, huh?
No. I mean, it's a brand new mattress, so
That's good.
nice and cushy.
How was your week other than staining all day today?
I mean, even including that, it's been good.
Yeah?
Yeah, I enjoy staining. It was fun. I don't know what else has happened this week, but
You can't think of it?
I started a new job.
You did start a new
waitressing
job.
at the Sacred Cow now.
Used to be at Lacayo.
Yes, correct.
Now you're at Sacred Cow. How's that?
It's been great. It's been really
Except for
good.
the flat tire one day. And then the next day, missing, hubcap.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Just
Kind of been really good luck
those have
for your
nothing to
car.
do with the job.
Well, they've
except
both
for-
been at that
Except
location.
for they happened because I was arriving late to work and went up on the curb and then it popped my tire.
Yeah. You're not supposed to do that, I don't think.
Go up on curbs?
Yeah. I would skip
You've
the curbs.
never gone up on a curb in your life before?
No, I'm just saying you're not supposed to.
Are you supposed to?
Boom.
Boom. Got him.
Hey, we have a really cool guest
We
today.
do. We do. Yeah.
I'm really excited. Let's bring him on. Please welcome Justin Beahm. With a silent H.
Silent H.
Yeah, Phantom H. Is that what you called
That's
it?
right, the Phantom H.
How's it going, man?
Great. Thank you guys for having me. I
Hell
appreciate it.
yeah.
I love your space here. This
Thank
is
you.
incredible.
This used to be a building that had like a department store in it.
did.
You told me that already.
It
In
did.
case you didn't know, this used
And
to
they had
be
like a
our
winter
shop.
wonderland on the top floor. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Back when I was a little kid. No. So you told us that story though, that the Armstrong building used to have a whole Christmas theme, and
Yeah.
then when you went upstairs, it had like animatronic.
That's right.
Animatronic like deer and probably a
Elves
snowman and all that.
Yeah.
And
It was incredible.
You experienced it.
I did. It was a ritual for us every year,
Wow.
and it was a big deal because it was the ultimate Santa in the area.
Right.
And like nothing else compared. And a lot of it had to do with that environment. It was the escalator kind of to heaven. You go up
Right.
there and you're just immersed in fake snow and
And as a kid, I mean, how old were you when
lights.
that was happening?
Little. I mean,
Little, yeah.
like
Did you believe in Santa at the time?
yeah.
Yeah. So
And
it
I
was,
thought for some reason he'd come hang out at the store here.
yeah, during
Cedar
that week.
Rapids,
In Cedar
Iowa.
Rapids, Iowa.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course. Why not?
He liked the skywalks. We talked about that too.
Yeah. Especially during the flood of 08.
And
right?
Noah's.
And Noah's, as you
And
said.
Noah's
Yeah.
flood. Yeah,
Yeah.
way back.
There isn't much about Santa and Noah, is there?
No.
That
Not
story
that I
needs
know
to
of.
be told. Someone needs to
Did
contact
you hear that?
Sci-Fi Channel.
Not that I know.
Oh.
Is it funny if you have to explain it?
No, I just,
No,
he didn't even hear it.
No,
Shit. Just so you know, she picks on me constantly.
ruined already.
I'm
It's
persecuted.
It's part of the bit on this show.
So I would say it was first year we had this podcast going. Your brother reached out to me and said, "I have someone that's got to be on your podcast, and I think you'd be perfect." And then we just didn't talk for a long time. I was like, "Yeah, let me know about it," and then it just forgot about it.
Yeah.
And then I saw him this last year, probably a few months ago, and he brought it up again, and I was like, "We got to get him on."
He's my hustler, I guess.
I
Wait,
guess,
who's your
right.
brother? Do I know your brother?
Mitch Beam.
I don't know that you would know Mitch. He used to hang out with Chris, who was the singer in my band for a while.
Okay.
Chris Woodward.
And so he'd come to our shows
Got it.
quite often.
Okay.
So that's how I know him. He likes live music a lot, so he goes to stuff like that. He was just
Nice.
at Nubo when I was running sound.
Okay.
Yeah,
But,
he's heavily involved in the drum corps thing in the area here.
Wow.
I was in it for a couple years.
Yeah.
But which that'll actually come up again later today. But he and the alumni there, they continue to put on a show in Cedar Rapids for many years. They actually brought drum corps back after a long time of it not existing because the corps folded quite a while ago.
Was it through a school or something? Or
No, it was the Emerald Knights in
Okay.
Cedar Rapids. There was other names before that. He and the alumni wrote an amazing book on the history of the drum corps in Cedar Rapids. And
Wow.
I learned, it goes back way farther than I thought. But there was an Emerald Knights bingo hall here, and that's what fed the corps financially
Yeah.
outside of the dues the kids were paying and stuff. And after it was Emerald Knights, then it became the Night Express.
was
and
that like a
then-
marching thing, or was it more of a?
Yeah, it's like competitive marching band. You could think
Wow.
of it that way. But the
Okay.
instrumentation's a little bit different. Back then, they didn't have woodwinds like clarinets. They didn't have trombones. So it was more traditional, almost like military instruments
Yeah.
that they used. And you got a great, powerful drum line and
Right.
the front line up front in the pit.
And that's still going.
Wow.
There hasn't been an active corps here for a long time, for quite some time. There's one in Dubuque called the Colts that's one of the best in the world. And
Oh, wow.
they're
Wow.
fantastic. And they have a junior corps of kids too that's great. And this used to be their home show. And I think this is the first year that they're not going to have what is Tournament of Drums is what it's always been called here, the home show for Emerald Knights. And the alumni brought it back a while ago
Yeah.
and kept it going even though there's no corps to support it. And it just became the Colt Cadet Drum Corps' home show, you could say.
Okay.
Air quotes on that. So there's a rich tradition of that. And Mitch is a big part of keeping that alive around
Wow.
here. And
That's really cool.
I'm so proud of him for all of his work with it.
What's the difference in age with you two?
2 years.
2 years.
Wow. So close.
Wow.
Yep, we're both adopted.
Okay.
And we're. It's interesting how different we are,
Right.
but our closeness and our love for history, our love for preservation of
Yeah.
family legacy and things like that is we have that very much in common.
Wow.
And so he's doing his drum corps thing, and I'm doing all my crazy stuff.
Yeah, he speaks really highly of you. And from what I've heard, you're, would you call it a producer, a writer? What exactly
Both.
do you do?
Yeah, my main work is I'm a film producer and director, so I work in the documentary realm. I do
Oh, wow.
special features for different film studios and film distributors. So if you put in a Blu-ray or 4K DVD, and there might be interviews on there or a documentary on the making of the film or an audio commentary where you can listen to people from the film talk about it as it plays.
Right.
That's the stuff that I do. And I mean, I've expanded that out. Now I'm doing independent documentaries as well. But it all began with journalism years ago, writing for newspapers in Illinois and then film magazines, and that's what led me to
Oh, really?
L.A. and all.
And
that.
a lot of horror films? Mm-hmm. Is that what I got the vibe of?
Yeah, I've always been into the horror stuff. I love movies, period, but horror has always had a really special place in my heart. I mean, we had the best video rental options in Cedar Rapids and Marion
Family
back
video?
in the day. This is pre-family video.
Okay.
We had, when it first landed here, and that's how I discovered horror, was this, by the way. But when videotape first arrived, there was, the first place I remember was in a U-Haul facility across from Thomas Park in Marion.
That sounds sketchy.
Total sketch, right? Here, rent a truck. So they had a spindle in there of, I remember renting Greystoke, Lord of the Jungle, like this Tarzan kind of thing. That's the first movie I remember us renting. But we were just like, wow.
It was VHS?
What, VHS? What is this? And then Hy-Vee, and then little Hy-Vees now, but Drugtown, Best Buy. My favorite was Farmore.
Never
Do you
heard
remember
of it.
Farmore?
No idea what that is.
It's where Half Price Books and West Music are now in Twixtown there.
Yeah.
And it was kind of a precursor to the Target Superstore kind of model where they had clothing and stuff for your car and whatever else. But their video section was unreal. And it was 5 tapes, 5 days, $5.
I remember that. We used
That's
to
a
we used
good
to
deal.
rent
Damn good
multiple
deal.
movies.
More than we could watch.
Yeah. Oh, always more than you
Always.
can watch.
Yeah.
I used to be able to take my report card into Family Video, and for every A that I had, I
Yeah.
had to rent a video for free.
And they had all those free kids movies there
Yeah,
too.
yeah, that too.
Family Video was great. And they hung in there.
Oh,
They had a good model because they bought the buildings where they moved in, and then they rented the rest of the spaces out, and that's kind of what carried
And now
the-
it's like Dollar General, the one over by Oakland.
It is.
Still looks like
It's still
Family
got the
Video.
glass
it's-
pillar thing.
Yeah, but they like put these like vinyls or something up on the windows so you can't see in.
Yeah.
So like, is it really a Dollar General?
Speaking
I
of
don't know. I
sketch,
haven't been in
I
there.
don't. Yeah, I know. I'm like, I feel like they're trying to hide something in there. I don't think it's a Dollar
I
General.
remember even the laser discs.
yeah.
So and Beta Vision. So I had friends that had, players for each of those things. And of course they were rich
Oh, yeah,
you
of
couldn't.
course.
Like if, you could always rent a machine, which was really weird.
Yeah.
You would rent a machine to watch a movie.
And we used to rent VHS video cameras from Hy-Vee and make movies in the backyard
Yeah.
and stuff, and you return it the next day, or rent the VCR before we had
Yeah.
one. And the Garden Theater in Marion was one of the places where I first rented too. But it was really like the horror, back to your question about horror, there was some books this is a crazy story. When I was little, I was obsessed with a series of books at the Marion Library, which was kind of like my home away from home. And it's called Crestwood House is the publisher.
Okay.
And they were just Crestwood House monsters. Now, this publisher did all kinds of stuff for young readers. It was like, what is skiing? Profile on Ernie Banks, a real variety of books. But
Yeah.
the bread and butter for me was there was one on the Wolfman, on Frankenstein, on Dracula, and I'd check them out over and over and over again. And over the years, they were only available to libraries, so they weren't commercially available books. But I was like reading about the monsters before I even saw the movies.
Yeah.
And I got so intrigued. And fast forward to today, and with the assistance of my wonderful entertainment lawyer a couple years ago, I was able to secure the rights to Crestwood House.
Really?
And so now I've relaunched this publishing shingle that I loved when I was
That's
little.
so cool.
In the process.
And are
of-
you doing a doc on it or?
There's going to be a documentary, yeah. There's also going to be a book about the legacy of the brand, because it's a really interesting story that was born out of Mankato State University up in Minnesota.
Wow.
I think that's now Minnesota State or something. But it was a bunch of teachers who got together to create books for young readers that were accessible to everyone, not dumbed down, not talking over the heads of limited skill readers, but just something that anyone could pick up and enjoy. And a lot of them use pen names and just the sheer volume of stuff they put out is remarkable. But their dedication to young readers I always found really, really inspiring.
So it was books. They weren't videos.
No videos. They did audio cassettes, though. So
Really?
they had audio cassettes.
I bet you just wore those out, huh?
Oh, man. Oh, remember the records with the book that you flip through when the bell rings or whatever? I love those, too.
Oh, yeah.
So-
I was into those.
Yeah, big time.
And I'd go to bed listening to records, like comedy records and even like the Star Wars soundtrack, but it had like, lines from the movie and it was all condensed down.
Yeah.
So like, that's why I still can quote little things from Star Wars. It's not from watching the movies; it's from the records.
Right.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, and a lot of times they had alternate characters in there in a lot of those books. If you're looking at something like Star Wars, have you seen the Star Wars Christmas special?
No.
Holiday special. Sorry, it's the Star Wars.
I don't
holiday
know.
special. You need to see it.
Yeah.
It is the worst thing ever.
Really? Did it come out around the time of like the first releases?
It was when it was all the rage.
Yeah.
And
Is Santa in it?
no, oddly enough, it is
But
so
Noah
strange,
is.
you guys.
But Noah.
Yeah.
It is so strange. It is the worst Christmas holiday special you're ever going to see. The first like 10 minutes of it, it's Chewbacca's family living in a tree. And there's no subtitles, but they're all talking to each other in like Chewbacca.
Oh my gosh. For 10 minutes?
Like 5 or 10 minutes straight.
And you don't have any clue what they're talking
no
about?
context for anything. They're just going about their business. There's like the mom and the little kid and the weird, creepy grandpa. And Mark Hamill shows up at some point with eyeliner on and makes a little cameo. It has the craziest
All
lineup
right,
of
we
people.
definitely got to watch
I know. This is
B.
intriguing.
Arthur is in it. She's a bartender, and she sings a song to a bunch of aliens in it. It's unbelievable. You got to
Wow.
check it out.
Okay, in what way is this a holiday film?
Because it's Life Day to Wookiees, apparently. I'm not even like big Star Wars guy, but I love this movie for how bad it is. I love a lot of really bad things.
Oh, yeah. Sometimes those are the best.
Oh, they're
What's that movie, The Room?
The Room,
Yeah.
Troll 2.
That one's really good. Yeah.
I love
Mark.
that stuff. They call it Life Day to these Wookiees, and they're celebrating it. And how do they celebrate it? By playing like this weird holographic chess thing. The grandpa watches this kind of porn video at one point. He puts his helmet on, and this lady's singing and saying like, "You're mine, you're mine," and he's sitting there gurgling and moaning. This is real.
Fuck.
I didn't expect to talk about the Star Wars.
No,
Okay, I'm glad you did.
that's the beauty of this podcast. We don't give a shit. We talk about whatever comes up, man.
And
We
George
started-
Lucas has buried it since. So it's on YouTube. You can find it there. And it's never had any kind of official release.
All right, we need to
Worth the
definitely
hunt.
look that up.
And see about that one.
Yeah.
Last night.
Last night.
Is that what you were going to say too?
No, I'm just trying to help you out.
Oh, okay. No, last night, I mean, they've been educating me on movies that they love that I haven't seen.
Yeah.
And we started The River Wild. Is that what it's called?
Yeah, it's not that
The
old.
fish-
Meryl Streep,
Oh.
Kevin Bacon.
Okay.
Are you familiar with it?
I haven't seen
Okay,
it.
well,
I would think you would have seen that. 'Cause
We're
it's,
only
it's
like
kind of
part-
are you a Kevin Bacon fan though? Because I'm a huge.
I
Kevin
like him
Bacon.
in Friday the 13th.
Oh wow! So more of the. I never saw him in Friday the 13th.
Gotta
But
see
this,
it.
Meryl Streep, Kevin Bacon, it's kind of a thriller.
Okay.
Trying to get
the
down
thing
the
is,
river.
is it the cool thing that I liked so far about it is that it starts out and you think it's just going to be this wholesome, like, feel-good movie.
Parents and their kids going
on
camping.
this river rafting trip, and then, not to spoil it too much, but then, like, it just turns thriller on you, and you're
Oh,
like,
nice.
what the heck is happening?
I love that when they swerve you like
Yeah, I was like, whoa.
No,
but I
especially
love
anything
it.
Kevin Bacon is in that's a thriller. It, to me, is totally worth watching. I'm just a huge Kevin fan, though.
He's great.
K-Dog, yeah. What's that?
And it's in Montana.
Oh, yeah, it's also in Montana, which we're from there. So
Okay.
where they're actually riding the gauntlet and all that, I think is right there in the Clark Fork.
Beautiful.
There's a way that this all comes together, right? Because they made a Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special.
Oh, now you're talking about Star Wars
Well, they go together, right?
and Riverwild?
They did a Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special. That was like a jokey kind of thing on Star Wars, and Kevin Bacon is in that.
Oh, God.
Oh, 6
Yeah.
degrees.
All ties together.
It's always Kevin, huh?
It's always Kevin.
It's always Kevin.
I thought you were kidding. I was like, what the fuck?
No, you got to check him out.
Yeah.
Stuff.
I'll have to.
great.
I want to take her through a lot of the Kevin Bacon movies and stuff like that, but I didn't know he was in Friday the 13th.
I think that may have been his first.
Really?
Yeah.
He was really young then.
Yeah.
What's crazy is watching these older movies that to me don't seem like they're that old
I know.
in my mind.
I know.
And thinking, Micah, you haven't seen that? Oh, we got to watch that. And we watch it, and I realize how young the actors and actresses are in
Yeah.
the
That's
movie.
so true.
I guess I don't have to say actors and actresses. I just say actors, right?
Yeah.
Same
Yeah.
actors.
But they're so young.
Or like
It's
we
crazy.
watched Grumpy Old Men last week.
They don't look young.
No, but I'm just throwing another one out there.
Yeah.
Have you seen that one?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, Walter Matthau.
I loved it.
Those
It was
guys
so
are great
good.
together.
It was so good.
Yeah, they have a whole history together.
Yeah.
So now you have actually released a book, a travel book.
Yeah.
Can you tell me about that? That's just recent, isn't it?
Yeah, it just came out in February.
Okay.
It's called Roadside Memories, and it's
I should have told you to bring one. I would have loved to see
I
it.
should have thought to bring
Yeah.
one, but it's it's all about closed amusement parks, roadside attractions, the carnival oddities and things from over the years around North America.
Yeah.
And what the story with it is, back in maybe 3 or 4 years ago, TV Guide reached out to me to be guest editor for an issue of their entertainment nostalgia magazine called Remind, and which is a monthly. It's really fun. It's all about pop culture and TV and music, and they'll have a theme for each one. But then there's also a spotlight on a different era, and it's a really fun magazine.
Yeah.
And I pitched them on doing an all Halloween issue, like Halloween Michael Myers franchise, because I have a history with that. When I first got into the business, I was working at the company that is the parent company of the whole Halloween franchise. And so there's a long history there. But anyway, so we turned it into an all Halloween issue. And then the following year, they brought me back and I did the Munsters for that one. And then I loved working with that team. And I pitched them on a column that was, I came up with the idea. I've always been fascinated by abandoned places, and especially amusement parks and stuff. My dad's from the Dells, Wisconsin Dells.
Yeah.
And when you go there as a kid throughout the year, it's this weird kind of spirit Halloween hermit crab thing where during the summer it's full of life and bustling with people and sounds of joy.
Yeah,
In the winter,
it's just nothing,
it's like dead. It's like a flower that comes back every year, an annual that just keeps coming back. So anyway, that's what it is. And so each month I profile a different attraction or some kind of roadside thing that I find fascinating, and I do real deep digging and tell their stories. And this book is the accumulation of, I think, the first 27 column entries of that.
Oh, cool. That's right. Look at that, Logs. Logs is on top of it.
He's
got it.
It's being the producer.
And it's got Chapman Fun World. There is one in Chapman from Cedar Rapids in there. Do you guys remember Chapman Fun World?
No,
we're not.
You
We're
wouldn't
not
have been
natives.
here. You keep on saying Montana. I keep on assuming.
I mean, I've lived here since I was 6, but
yeah.
But that's you're only 12 now, so it's
yeah,
what?
like I've only been 6 years. It's crazy.
And after that staining project is done,
Yeah,
you'll be
man,
40.
my memory's just gone. Yeah, wiped.
What was that? Chapman
Chapman Fun World. We didn't have amusement parks. The closest thing was
Adventureland?
Adventureland in Des Moines. Yeah,
Okay, so that's been there for a while?
long
Adventureland?
time.
Okay.
Yeah, and Chapman was our really sort of backwoods version of that. They had like a water slide, some bumper boats, little miniature golf out front. My favorite thing were the space ball cages, where it's a trampoline and you hit this ball through these holes. There's like 3 things. You hit them through there. It was just a place for
I couldn't
parents.
play that now.
I would love to try it again.
I don't think I could do it.
I would miss it every time.
I would be
It's like when I
tired in
try
like
to-
5 minutes.
If I try to shoot a basketball right now, awful.
Yeah.
Miss every time.
So we used to, I won't go off on this, but we used to shoot baskets all the time at our house
Yeah, we
because
used to
our
have-
boys were really into basketball.
Yeah.
So we would shoot all the time. And then, kids grew up, they're out.
Yeah.
Basketball, the hoop's gone.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, you just don't think about basketball other than on TV. So then you pull out a basketball at a gym. We're playing pickleball, and there's a basketball. We're like, oh, I remember this.
Yeah.
Start shooting, and I'm like missing by like 5 feet short. I can't get it to the basket from the free throw line.
And we were saying we're not going to play another game of pickleball until you get it in the basket. Dad.
I couldn't.
It was. I'm sorry.
And I
to throw
could
you under the
not
bus.
get it in the
Probably,
fucking
like,
basket.
You ruined
dude.
the night.
5-10 minutes, nothing. And we
I
had to
know
be
I
like-
could get it back. I know I could get it back. It was just one of those moments. And now,
It was rough. It was rough.
so don't invite me to play one-on-one. It won't be fun.
Unless you just want to cream it.
Yeah.
because that'll happen probably.
Basketball is what people talk about now when I travel. They just want to talk about Caitlin.
Oh, of
And
course.
It
Yeah.
used to be wrestling.
Which is kind of fun.
Now
It's
Caitlin.
kind of
Oh, I
cool that
love
we
it.
have Caitlin.
I
And
love it. She's incredible.
it's always fun to have a hometown hero.
Yeah.
Like for me with music, it's Slipknot,
Yeah.
because I'm a musician. So, Slipknot. And So anyone who lives in your area or is from your area is kind of
Ashton
a
Kutcher.
hero. Ashton Kutcher and
Elijah Wood.
Got them all.
And Justin Beahm.
Justin
Yeah.
Beahm. Yeah.
Well, hey, man, don't sell yourself short.
All right, so
Micah Lunsford,
Michael Lunsford with
Logan.
a D before the F.
before and after. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to ask you, on this podcast, we ask our guests what makes them groove. So the top 3 things that give you life, give you passion, make you excited to wake up every day and start your life.
Top 3.
Top 3 things. You can kind of just start with one. We'll chat a bit, and you can.
And there's no regrets. You can tomorrow you'll be like, shit.
Oh, I'm sure.
I missed that one. It
I'm
doesn't.
sure.
Just whatever. It's just for fun.
Yeah. Nature. I'm really big into the mountains and forest. That's up in California. When I go to LA, which is often, the city drives me crazy, and I have to kind of decompress and clear my head. And there's this little unincorporated town in the mountains about 2 hours east of LA called Idlewild that has a dog as its mayor. Legitimately.
Oh my gosh.
Mayor Max. It's the most adorable
Why have we
thing
not
ever.
gone to this place?
Yeah. It's incredible.
I'm from LA, so I'm from Anaheim.
Have you been to
No,
Idlewild?
you're from
No.
Montana.
Okay.
You can't say you're from Montana and then say you're from LA. Like, you got to pick one.
I'm not doing a full on I'm from there. I'm just saying I grew up as a kid in Anaheim.
Okay.
It's fine. Just don't also say you're from Montana.
Well, I didn't say. I don't think I ever said I'm from Montana. I said I'm. Anyway, let's just see what I deal with on a constant.
So their dog. Their
There's a
mayor's
dog mayor.
Okay, great.
And every day about noon, you can go downtown and see the dog, get pictures with the dog and the deputy mayors and all that. But anyway, Idlewild is amazing. There's no chain stores, restaurants. It's all local. It's all very sort of hippie. And there's an arts college there. That's the only kind of real big thing that's present. There's no hotels. There's just cabins and
So you just go there and disconnect for a while.
absolutely. And I really love that. So nature.
Where's that next to? We used to camp in the high Sierras, Sierra Nevadas, and what was that? Big Bear and
Oh yeah, so Big Bear is like maybe an hour and a half east.
Okay.
This is the next mountain range on your right.
Okay.
So it's 2 hours down and then all the way up. It's like an hour to get all the way up. So it's really not near anything. But people go to Palm Springs and they'll sometimes go up to Idlewild for the weekend. It's kind of a frequent summer place to go up there.
very cool.
But nature's really big, animals and all that. And it's great for writing too, and creative
I bet.
headspace to just be by yourself in a cabin for a few days,
Definitely.
communing with nature. But music is huge. We talk about groove. I'm a drummer, and that's always been a huge part
Okay.
of my life. And
Did you play in bands growing up and stuff? Or
I did. Yeah. Well, yeah. The first band that I had was, and the song we're going to talk about leads into is part of this whole thing. But,
Sure.
The first band that I was in, it was
called The Doors.
It was called The End,
Okay.
which is a Doors song. And I had fallen in love with that band and wanted to start a band. And I didn't want to play drums in it. I was drumming in other, school band. And I think at that point in drum corps and whatever. Well, I played cymbals. I was little. And I put this band together, and these guys are still my friends. Steve Shanley played keys in it, and he's like the head honcho in the music department at Co.
Okay.
He also is head of the municipal band in Cedar Rapids now, and he writes charts for all these different elementary school bands in the area and high school bands. It's really cool. So he stayed really plugged in around here while I'm out flitting about the universe. But I was singer, but it was really more just like mumbling poetry and dry humping the mic stand. It was really bad. But I hustled it. I learned how to hustle there.
Yeah.
Like you talk about what drives you. And so music was a huge motivator for that. It was like the first time getting a business card printed, 90% of which I still have. Because when you're 13 and 14 trying to give business cards, who are you going to hand them to?
Yeah.
And they only sell them in boxes of like 200.
That's absolutely right. Yeah. And
Because if just for another $100 is like another buck, so why wouldn't you get?
And we could play the Freedom Fest. We played like New Year's Eve parties at bank parties at the Y and whatever.
Yeah.
So, but that was kind of it.
That's cool.
But then I was drumming in bands from that
But
point
was it
forward.
kind of Doors-ish?
Total Doors?
Oh, yeah.
100% sound. It was all originals, but a couple covers. But it was 100% Doors sound without a good singer.
Yeah.
And then after that, I played with a buddy I grew up playing with, Billy Satterfield. Bill Knoll is his name, and his dad had been playing in blues bands in the area for a long time. And the three of us formed this power trio that did kind of like Cream, Hendrix, Vaughn, that kind of style of stuff. And we traveled quite a bit with that. And then I was in a surf rockabilly band at one point. I've done a few different things.
We still got the Surf Zombies here in
Yeah.
town. Yeah. They're really, really good.
I love them.
Yeah. It's so perfect. I actually
Brooke's
made one of
amazing.
their, I designed one of their hoodies that they still sell. And I probably designed it 20 years ago or
Nice.
15 years ago. It's still, yeah.
Brooke's a hustler.
Oh, yeah. He just never stops. I don't know how many bands he's in right now, but
That guy is...
I need to have him on this. I feel like he's like a local legend for
You should.
sure.
In fact, the first... here's our Brooke connection, the Kevin Bacon of Cedar Rapids.
Yeah.
Where the first audio commentary that I needed to record while here, the first two I did were on Halloween 4 and 5 when I was working with Trancas, which is that Halloween company. But then after that, I got hired to do commentary for The Town That Dreaded Sundown, which is a movie from the 70s about an unsolved murder in Texarkana, and a movie that terrified me as a kid. But anyway,
Yeah.
I had a historian, James Presley, down in Arkansas, I think he was living, speaking to the case, like the real facts, and then I was speaking to the film, but I have no recording capability. And so I looked up recording studios. Brooke's name came
Brooks
up
Basement,
first.
man.
And I walk in thinking it's going to be like this.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's literally Brooke's old base. He's moved
Yeah.
since then. But
Oh, yeah.
and it was so perfect
Yeah.
because it was just homey and friendly. And
It still exists.
And
He
I-
still records there.
I just recorded for Brooke, laid some drum tracks down on a new project of his in his
Recently?
basement. Yeah.
So you're still drumming.
Yeah. And he just set up my guitar for me a couple weeks ago, fixed the neck up and all that. So,
That's so cool.
yeah. He's awesome. Brooke's amazing.
Yeah. He's a really good guy.
So-
I have this guilt thing about him, though.
Why? Because he hasn't been on your show?
No,
you've
it's
ignored
not
him for
that.
years?
Okay, I adore the dude. I think he's great. You know, inspirational. He's a
Yeah.
little older than me, but
Is this
not
something
much.
you should say on the
Yeah,
podcast?
Good
yeah,
energy.
100%. I'm a transparent. I'm an open book.
No, I know. I'm just saying, like, you're not just talking to a friend here. Like, we've got listeners. So just I was.
No, it's completely
if you're
fine.
getting
It's
carried
gonna
away.
it's gonna make me accountable. So
All right.
I ran sound one time for a few bands
Yeah.
at a place called Next Door. It was down by Union Station on 16th Ave.
Okay.
And Surf Zombies played. They opened up. So that night, packed up all my gear, and I'd say like a month later, I find this SM58 Beta mic in my bag.
Yep.
I'm like, oh, where'd this come from? And I plug it in, and it didn't work. Or it was fuzzy or something. So I was like, oh, I don't know what the deal is. So I open it up, and I'm like, I couldn't do anything about it, but I totally knew it wasn't mine.
Yeah.
And I just kept forgetting I had it. And then finally, one time, I just reached out to Brooke. I'm like, did you happen to have an old SM50? You know, whatever. And he's like, yeah, I think I did. And I'm like, I've got it. It doesn't work, but I'll give it to you. And he's like, yeah, I could, fix it or whatever.
Yeah.
Still have not given him that.
No way.
It's in my basement. I won't ever get rid of it. But it's just one of those things that are like, I have this. I have not given it to Brooke yet.
Funny.
Oh my gosh.
And so anyway, just
And it still doesn't work.
it still doesn't work, but still, it's the principle of the whole
That
thing.
was a pretty good impression of him, by the way.
Did I do one?
You did a really good one. That was pretty
Yeah, I
close.
think I had that.
That's it. Okay. Magic. Yeah.
Yeah.
I bought a friend of mine who's a sculptor named Chris Cooksey, Kuksi. I'm doing a documentary on him right now, and he's incredible. He's like one of these singular creatives where there's no one in the world that does what he does.
Okay.
Look him up. He's amazing. But
I'm going to be looking up a lot of your shit. I want to see some of the stuff for sure.
thank you. Well,
Even the bad stuff.
it's all bad. Spoiler. He uses a lot of different found elements in his sculptures, and one of the things are little people and military vehicles, like old HO scale,
Okay.
like model railroad scale size things. And one day I was looking for stuff for him. I was going to go shoot with him, so I wanted to take something. And I look on Marketplace just to see if there's anything that might fit the bill for him. And someone's selling this lot of vintage HO scale people and
All right.
army guys and tanks and whatever. And I click to message them, and it's Brooke. And I'm like, Brooke, I want these. And he's like, come over. And so I go over to his house, and he had them all separated in his baggies,
course he did.
labeled for
Yeah.
each whatever. And he's like, and these were from when I was, and I love these guys here. They were always my favorites. And I painted blood on these guys. It was so great. It was so great. But
That's
he keeps
amazing.
popping up in my life, Brooke does.
He's a good guy. Man,
Well, next time he pops up in your life, we could give you this mic.
Yeah, I'll
and
give him the
you
mic.
could-
Let's do it. Let's do it.
So, okay, so you've done 2,
We had nature, music.
nature and music.
Can you give us one more groove? Doom, doom.
Yeah.
Are you trying to do the...
That one, except for I was doing doon, 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 doon.
Just different enough that it's not going to
Slightly
be a
Jaws,
lawsuit.
Jaws-ish.
Oh, Jaws. There you go. Just had its 50th anniversary.
I know, I saw that.
Interesting.
I would say that the overriding thing in my life, I mean, outside of my son and, my folks, who I love, Mitch,
Yeah.
so dearly, but it's sharing people's stories. It's really doing what you guys do here, because back in the beginning and writing for the newspapers it's always been feature writing, interviews, preserving people's history. And when I was working for the newspapers, there were 3 weeklies in central Illinois, and Farmer City is where my office was, Farmer City, Illinois. And not much happening in Farmer City, so you kind of have to cultivate the news. You have to find things to write about. And one of the things that I came up with was a column called 80 and Active. And I just went to local seniors and said, who's interesting? Like who?
Oh, wow.
And it led me to the retirement home there, where people kept talking about this painter. You got to meet this painter. You got to meet this painter. And so I just walk into his room, like cold call him in his room. And I'm like, introduce myself. Find out he is the cover artist. Do you remember the Louis L'Amour Western books?
Yeah, 100%.
Those covers,
the Sackets and
those covers are iconic.
Yeah.
And really they informed a lot of like Western cinema, the look of those covers. He's the guy.
Whoa.
He drew those.
He painted those. And he's
paint them, yeah.
Yeah, and he's in a retirement home anonymously in Farmer City, Illinois.
Now he's not anonymous anymore. You just told us where he's at.
Go find him.
Dude, I had friends that religiously read Louis L'Amour.
Yeah.
I mean, I wasn't into Westerns, but they...
Prolific.
Yeah.
So many. But he opens his closet and there's a box with just flipping through these.
How long ago was this? Is he still around? Probably
no,
not.
he wouldn't be now.
Yeah.
No, this is like
And his
late
social security
90s.
number is
Yeah, I just say that because my son's really into the old, art.
Oh,
Western.
Old Western art.
Oh,
stuff like
cool.
that. He's a designer, so...
Nice. That's great. Yeah, I mean, everyone has a story.
Yeah.
And that's a really cliche line, but it's absolutely true. And
It's so true.
Yeah.
and I've always been like getting into the film world. My job is just to sort of build the stage, put up the lights, make sure the mic's working, and then shrink back, make sure things work right, and then come and tidy things up. Like when we were setting up in here, my instinct is like, let me grab that cable, like it's gonna fall. That's just same for you, I'm sure, doing sound and everything. That's ingrained in you. But the great joy for me is when I get people who haven't had much attention paid to them over the years. Because we're really bad as a culture at celebrating each other and ourselves while we're here.
Yeah.
We're great at it when we die.
That's true.
And so we don't get to see that celebration. And some of the people that I've met all my heroes for the most part and had the opportunity to spend time with them, which is exciting. But there are so many people who are the less celebrated voices and artists and hands and minds in the film world, because it takes a symphony to make a movie of any scale. The most fascinating people and some of the most thrilling stuff are like the animal trainers, the special makeup effects people.
Yeah.
And when I was working on Big Trouble in Little China, have you seen that, John Carpenter?
Yeah.
Love that movie so much. Kurt Russell, another one that you should watch all of his films.
Okay.
Yeah.
You were doing the...
Special features.
special features.
Thank you. And I had no brakes on it because I was so excited to be doing this title.
Yeah.
And I was bringing people in, and I realized very quickly that the non-Caucasian cast members, which is like 90% of the cast, had never been given much of any attention on any previous releases. And so I found Carter Wong over all around the world. I was bringing people in who were martial artists who were affiliated with it and all this. So many of them were like, no one's ever asked before. No one's ever asked. And that's a really special moment when you're getting someone in the chair. It's a rare thing for them. And then I just let it run. Like those features are hardly cut up because I'm like, how many times are they going to have a chance to tell their story?
That's really
so let's
cool.
leave as much of it as we can in. And it's a tremendous joy to preserve all this history.
That's so badass, dude.
Amazing.
I love that.
Amazing.
Yeah.
That's really inspiring, actually. Yeah.
He's like mentioning a movie like that. I'm just like, oh yeah, no big deal. Such a big name, dude.
Oh, it's
that
great.
movie.
I've done a ton of stuff with John over the years. In fact, you were talking about California. Halloween. You're familiar with Halloween?
Not the holiday, the movie.
Yeah, the movie. Have you not? It's new, I know. Have you seen Halloween? 1978's Halloween.
She hasn't seen any horror movies. She's not really into horror
spooky
movies.
stuff. Okay, it's not bad.
I like thrillers. Horror gets a little much for me.
Would you call Halloween a thriller? Maybe like a little more thriller. It doesn't have a bunch of blood and guts.
It's a slasher kind of.
It's
Yeah.
prototype slasher.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
the one. But that
But
was
you like zombie movies. I feel like, sometimes you get in your
I
mind.
could give it a shot.
You get in your mind what something is, and you don't realize that it's probably not everything that you think it's going to be. Yeah.
Or you look back on something.
Especially these classics. You know.
Well, I remember watching Friday the 13th with some younger kids, and they were just bored to death.
Yeah.
By it. When we're kids, we're just terrified and enthralled. But
100%.
anyway, back to Halloween. So that was shot in South Pasadena, which is where a lot of movies are shot, where they need to kind of have an anywhere USA because they have real trees, not just palm trees.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yards have grass and things like that. Pee-wee's Big Adventure stuff was shot, a bunch of movies. And Pee-wee's house is still there, by the way, from that movie.
Wow.
One of the greatest movies ever made.
Oh, I fucking love that movie.
Halloween, the Michael Myers house in South Pasadena got moved after they shot, and then it got put on the historic register, so it's protected now. It sits at this intersection right in the heart of South Pasadena, and it is now an office space, but it draws people from around the world.
Oh, I bet.
It's become, because film locations are huge with fans. They want to go where the movies were made. We were
for
chatting
sure.
about that earlier.
Yeah.
Like with the Hogwarts thing, it's as close as you can get because it's not a real place, right? Well, you can go to Haddonfield because John also shot stuff. I mean, Rob Zombie made his Halloween there in South Pass. Anyway, long story long, I ended up in 2013 working with the city council in South Pasadena on getting October 31st named John Carpenter Day.
Okay.
So it could be an acknowledgement of his contribution to the community. And I was blown away by how few people on the council even knew that was drawing so many people there.
Wow.
But if you were to go, there's a coffee shop next to it. If you were to go and sit there and just sip your coffee, you will see a steady stream of people posing in front of the place, getting pictures. It's a huge draw. And we ended up getting it done and had a big ceremony where John spoke, and the mayor gave him this proclamation, and it's one of the cool things I'm most proud of.
I bet, dude.
Because John got to be there.
Yeah.
That's why it's special. Not just because it happened, but
Right.
because John got to be in the room when this thing happened.
That's dope.
Really
I love
cool.
it. Man, I could listen to this all day.
I know.
We should take a break and come back.
Let's do it.
We're going to get another beer. So this is your chance to get a beer. But you got to listen to these ads because they're really good. Need Pizza, Cairo
good.
Painting.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I was just talking to Kyle from Cairo today, and he has this vision to take over the whole fucking city and become rich.
Wow.
Not really, but we were.
He's got a vision for it.
He's got a vision. I don't know if he's going to take it over, but anyway.
For sure.
But we love our sponsors. Anyway, we'll be right back.
Okay, bye.
I can't believe I'm saying this. Need Pizza has decided once again for the year 2025 to be our sponsor for the Groove Life Song of the Week. There was only one stipulation, and that was that we continue to give away free pizzas. And I was like, no one's going to want free pizza. Not compute. Can't believe said that out loud. Everybody wants hot to the touch, fresh from the oven, New Haven style pizza, plus tasty appetizers and fresh salads. Everybody wants ice cold, locally crafted beer. Everybody wants to be greeted at the door with a smile and be invited into a warm atmosphere where the staff makes you feel like part of the family every time you visit. Let's make this simple. Everybody wants a damn pizza, and Need Pizza is the place to get it.
Need Pizza is a locally owned, independent pizzeria established in 2015, located at 207 2nd Avenue Southeast in the heart of downtown.
Need Pizza. Feed your need.
Hello, Groove Life family. I've got this good friend. His name is Kyle Rogers. Not only is he a good friend, a great musician, and has killer hair and a cool beard, but he also owns his own painting company, Cairo Painting, K-Y-R-O. These guys specialize in interior, exterior, residential, and commercial painting, including deck and fence staining. Cairo Painting prioritizes honesty, quality, and efficiency. I mean, those are important things, man. I want a good job done. I don't want to have to second guess. Am I getting ripped off? And also, I want it done like in a timely manner so I can get on with my life. And these guys are the real deal. They even have insurance coverage, so you know you're going to get exceptional results. They offer color consultations, drywall repair. Drywall? What's drywall? Drywall repair. Let's just say they're going to transform your space with passion and excellence. So here's what I'm thinking. You need to contact Cairo Painting today. Schedule your estimate and let them bring your vision to life.
You can reach Cairo Painting at 319-389-5456 or find them on Facebook and Instagram at Cairo Painting. Cairo Painting has been serving the Cedar Rapids, Iowa and surrounding areas since 2020.
Cairo Painting. It's been fun just on the break, hanging out a little bit.
Yeah.
Dropping some names, you know, people you've interviewed and stuff. Like you said, you were at Nicolas Cage's house in Vegas,
crazy.
you know. How long ago was that? Just recently? Or
That was like a year ago or so.
I mean,
maybe.
come on, dude. Cage
Well, you brought
is
up
the man.
You brought up Scorsese, and it was Bringing Out the Dead, and I'm like, yeah, Scorsese was cool, but going to Cage's house was like
'cause
a
Cage-
life achievement unlocked. It
Well,
was amazing.
he's weird even as a person. It's not like, I mean, he is that guy. I mean,
Kind
maybe.
of.
Oh, really?
You go to his house.
I'm acting like I know.
I was blown away, and I walk up to his house, and there's a simple mat, like a doormat outside with the letter C on it, like you'd buy at Lowe's or wherever.
Sure.
And I'm like, this is kind of odd, but it's a beautiful house in this gated community in Vegas. And I expected a housekeeper, assistant, or someone. The door opens, Justin. And I'm like, holy crap.
Dude,
it's
that
a-
sounded just like him. Good job.
Do you want to go
Thanks.
find the Declaration of Independence?
And he's like, oh, it was so great. I could go on about that day forever. It was absolutely
Oh, I
amazing.
can't
And he
imagine,
was a
dude.
great family guy. He wasn't kooky crazy. He had a baby there, and he was in between running over to his baby.
All right,
and
so I was
spending
completely
time.
wrong. I was like, isn't he the same guy? as
But in the basement, and under his living room, is a blacklight room. It was the first thing he showed me. He was so excited to show me the blacklight room when he was giving me the tour. Like, you can shoot wherever you want and set up whatever. I'll take you around. This is my wife. This is my whatever. And he's like, I got to show you my new addition, the blacklight room. And we go down these spiral staircase in the middle of his living room by his gigantic fireplace. And it's a hallway with nothing but blacklight posters on the ceiling and the walls. No light but blacklight in it. And I hear him from up above. Isn't it great? It's really great, Nick. It's really great. That was unreal.
my
The whole day was so cool. It was amazing.
That's a really cool, man, wow. That's so cool.
He was
And even you mentioned Sharknado.
Okay, well, that came up because we were talking during the break about preservation of like your history.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And this is directly relevant because, my friend Anthony made all the Sharknado films. And
Okay.
he called me one day and asked if I wanted to die on the beach. And I'm like, sure. So I show up, and they put the appliances on my arm, and I go do this scene and whatever.
So you're in one of the movies too?
I'm in the first one
Amazing.
for like 4 seconds.
Beautiful. Love it.
During the initial
That's all
big
that
shark
matters.
frenzy. And it was weird. That was hilarious because when the DVD came out, he put me front and center on the back cover, even though I'm only in like 4 seconds.
Really?
Of the movie. He and I were literally talking about this today. To your point about keeping track of your history and stuff.
Yeah.
My friend Mitch. I think it was Mitch who found that there was Sharknado trading cards, and there was one of them with me on it.
Wow.
And I was like, we got to find this. What the hell?
Yeah.
And been looking, and we find all of them but that one.
Yeah.
And
I mean, how did you know there was one of you? He saw it in a magazine or some kind of catalog?
he saw it, some post somewhere about them. And
I'm having Logs look up the first Sharknado. What is it? It's the DVD?
DVD.
Okay.
The back cover
See if
of the
we
DVD.
can find you. Yeah.
It's like the main cast, and then I'm like right next to them I'm drug out of the water by these 2 guys screaming and bleeding.
Oh my God.
I wasn't even on the pier on the back. He like superimposed that anyway. But we're on this mission to track down this trading card. And so a friend of mine and I wrote to the guy who made the trading cards, who ran the company, and this is months ago, and I kind of forgot about it. And then just yesterday, he emails me and says he found some. He's like, I found 3. They're on the way to you.
Wow.
So I'm so excited. Like my one card.
Yeah, you got to
frame.
totally frame that shit. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'm dying on the beach.
Do you have like cool frame stuff of things you've done, or?
I have art from artists and friends I love all over my place. I mean, almost every inch is covered with photos and paintings.
Sweet,
and
I'll
whatever.
cook. We'll hang out.
Yeah, let's do it. But I do have a little sliver in the kitchen area where it's pictures of me with some of the folks that have meant a lot to me to interview, or things that I've been sent from people after interviews.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, I'm surrounded by art all the time, and I keep adding to it. It's almost like that's my vice. So that's one of the things that brings me joy, that inspires me. Is it's like my ecosystem that I plug into.
Yeah,
is all this art that's all around me, and knowing the people who made them means the world.
Right.
This is blurry and low res, but does this look right? Does that look familiar?
No, it's different back.
Different one.
Wait, yeah, that was like a reissue. That's the steelbook version of it.
Okay.
And then there have been a number of different releases, but the very first DVD, it's on the back there.
Okay.
So anyway, that was really weird to discover that was the case. And
yeah.
I love my friend Mitch for helping me track one down.
Your friend and brother.
For my friend and brother.
Big shout out to Mitch. I'm sure he's listening and grinning from ear to ear. Excited that his big brother's on the Groove Life podcast. We're really excited to have you on here, man.
Next time you meet Nick Cage, just let him know, hey, just so you know, I was on the Groove Life podcast.
Yeah.
I will.
And he'll be like, oh, I heard that was great.
He's like, your name
That's
dropped
good.
in the Groove Life
Thanks,
podcast.
thanks, dude. Yeah.
I'm sure I'll never see him again.
So our
It's probably like, keep this guy away from my
our
house.
Christmas movie that we watch every year is Family Man
Oh, so good.
with him in it.
Yeah,
We love
It's not a horror movie.
that
not at all.
It's not even one of his better movies, but we fucking love it.
That's great. I love rituals like that.
Yeah.
I'm a seasonal watcher. I watch winter movies when there's snow. I wait until there's snow.
Okay.
And I watch summer camp movies during the summer. I'm totally like a seasonal
That makes sense
viewer.
to me, though. I mean, we went to watch Grumpy Old Men because we both like to fish.
Yeah.
And I said, we got to watch Grumpy Old Men when he goes after Catfish Hunter, you know? And so we put in the first one. I figured it was the first one.
Yeah.
And that was the winter one.
Oh, yeah. You're
So
out
we
of
had to
season.
watch one out of season.
You're out of season.
And it's kind of Christmas.
Have you watched Great Outdoors together?
with John Candy?
Yeah.
No.
Dan Aykroyd.
Yeah.
So good. I just watched that
All
the
those
other
are so
day.
good. All right, let's do the local music calendar.
Local music! Calendar.
I haven't been around in a while. Sorry.
I know, I noticed
Anyway.
Just a few local things coming up. Hopefully our show went really well this weekend coming up. I mean, you're going to be here.
It was great.
Yeah, it was great.
Killed it.
Everyone that was going to be there was there. All right, so what?
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody that was going to be there was
Everyone
there.
that was on their way there showed up. And so on the 12th of July, Fresh Fighters will be at the Olympic. We only do a few shows a year in Cedar Rapids. So we're really excited about this Olympic show. We have the band, the Sad Machines, which is a Smashing Pumpkins band out of Chicago that'll be opening up. So we're really excited about that. You can get those tickets right now. Just go to our Facebook page or Olympic or whatever. All right. And then our good friends Vibe.
Yeah, Vibe.
Alicia and EJ and Gerard and Lincoln. All the, I'm not going to name them all off the top of my head.
That's probably the ones I could name too.
No, there's more, but I'm not going to go there. Anyway, they'll be at Queensquale Park.
Queensquale Park.
They'll be at Queensquale Park, and I'm running sound for them. On the 24th of July. And this is a new thing. Green Square is actually doing music again. And so I think they're just trying to get back on their feet, getting people to show up. I think it's $5. You go in, and it's kind of like old school, Uptown Friday nights, but a lot more low key.
Yeah, they had like a pizza truck there, and then they had some drinks you could buy.
Yep. So anyway, that's on the 24th. Also, if you missed the show this last weekend with Eastland, my original band, we are playing. I haven't said this online yet because I didn't want to spoil coming to the show this weekend.
Oh my God.
I know. Can you believe it? August 9th at Kingston Yard, or the Yard, over by Big Grove and Pickle Palace.
Okay.
It'll be us, and I just totally drew a blank. But I know who it is.
The opening band will also be attending.
Yeah, but they're amazing. Their music plays out on the camera outside. Look it up for me real quick.
What am I looking it up on?
Shit. I'm embarrassed. Oh, you'll have to cut part of this out or something. I'm just kidding. It's fine. I don't care. I'm going to look it up.
While you look it up, I will talk about one of our newest sponsors, Theater Cedar Rapids. We love them so much. We are planning on soon going to Little Shop of Horrors. That one starts showing on June 27th, and it goes through July 27th. Yeah, that's going to be a good one. I think I heard that the plant they're using is the actual one from Broadway. Is that true?
I haven't heard, but it might be.
I'm pretty sure it is.
Celebrity Plant.
They rented it, yeah. So we're really excited about that one. We always like to keep an eye out on what shows they're doing. They just released that they're doing Dear Evan Hansen next summer, which we're super stoked about. Yeah, Theater Cedar Rapids.
Shane, I believe the Wonderful Smiths are open.
Yeah, the Wonderful Smiths. Thank you.
Thank you, Logan.
I wanted to say something about the Smiths, but I couldn't get the really cool Smiths.
The Smiths are opening for us, guys.
Yeah.
The Smiths. Wouldn't that be badass?
The Smiths.
Wonderful Smiths are opening, and I think we're doing a show with them also in November. And Drew, if you listen to this, I apologize. I had a lot on my mind. Anyway, so I think, is that covered all then? So you already mentioned
Yeah, I just talked about Theater Cedar Rapids.
And you
We're
gave
good
the
to go.
dates?
Yep.
All right, I'm back. All right, that's it for the local music calendar then.
Wow.
Let's go into the Groove Life Song of the Week.
Groove Life Song of the Week.
Brought to you by Need Pizza.
Our favorite.
Yeah.
Love it.
Apparently,
we've
they
been
have-
going there a lot lately.
I know. I mean,
Probably like 3 times in the last month, which that's a lot to go to a
so
place.
almost weekly.
Yeah.
We deserve it.
Yeah, we
True.
do.
And
We work hard.
probably going to go there this week after Thursday night's gig.
Yes,
Yeah.
we are.
It's
Okay.
kind of our new thing now.
Why not?
It's not really new. We love that place. But
No. And apparently they have good vegetarian sausage.
I know.
do.
It's, you
Vegan
mentioned
sausage
that.
there, yeah, it's great.
Vegetarian sausage.
So just the pigs it's made out of only ate veggies? Is that how it works? Or
No muscle tissue involved.
okay.
So what I like about Need is they also have really good carnivore broccoli.
Yeah.
It's basically broccoli florets, and it's made from different muscles of different, different
Wow.
beasts.
That's pretty cool.
Oh,
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
All right. So
I'm
we
here
have
all week.
another winner today. For those of you who are new to this podcast, we're sponsored by Need Pizza, and we give away a $25 gift card every episode to someone who liked or commented on our social media post.
Which happens on Mondays.
Yeah. I mean, you can comment or like all
Anytime
throughout.
after that, but I mean,
You got a week
it drops
to do
on
it
Monday. Yeah.
until we re-record our next episode. So
Right.
Today's winner is Aaron Brewer.
Aaron Brewer. I don't think Aaron's ever won
You know,
anything in life. I'm just kidding.
This
We love
is
Aaron.
his first time.
I met him doing Jesus Christ Superstar at Theater Cedar Rapids.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I saw him for the first time in Rent,
sure.
and he killed.
Yeah,
He was just recently in a show there too, right?
He was in once,
Hairspray.
and he was in no
No, he wasn't in Hairspray. Dang it! What was it?
family.
Yeah, Funhouse.
Funhouse.
That's it.
he was in Funhouse.
It was so
Yeah.
good.
And we didn't realize it was him until like later.
Literally the last
Oh, really?
scene or something.
he just
so late.
was so in character. I
Wow.
didn't
It was
even
crazy.
realize it. Yeah,
That's great.
it's great. So, yeah,
Okay, let's go on to our songs. Yeah,
love it.
You want to go first, Dad?
Sure. Who do you have up first, Logs?
You already said sure.
All right, fine. So I was just because my friend here does horror movies and stuff. I was thinking maybe I would do a ghost song, and then I was like, you know what? This song just popped into my algorithm, and I was like, I fucking love Andrew WK, and it was inspiring. And I was like, I'm going to play an Andrew WK song. And so we were at the last show he was supposed to do at Furnace Fest, and it was like 3 years ago. He was scheduled to play, and then he didn't. It canceled the morning of, and then all of his socials went offline. Everything went away, and I guess it's been planned for years. He had it all planned, and it was in the lore of his story. And
Wow.
so people that were really diehard had been following the little, messages and stuff.
Wow.
And so he hasn't been around since that day.
Then why did he book that show?
It was just the last one. It was the day that he was going to leave, I guess.
It was a festival, so at least it wasn't just like just him.
No.
Showed up.
Yeah,
It's just like-
it was Furnace Fest. But he's married to Kat Dennings. She's an actress and stuff. But love this guy. The song's
He's
great.
still missing.
Well, he's not missing.
No, but he still is like
He's not doing music.
okay.
He's kind of out of the spotlight.
Self-kidnapped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's in what's that town called? Idlewild.
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 They're hiding out
Yeah.
Yeah,
right.
with the mayor.
with the dog,
yeah.
Yeah.
Dog. Yeah.
Let's give it a hear.
partying with the dog.
Exactly, dude.
Let's give it a hear, okay, guys?
You gotta close your eyes and open up your soul. Let the power rise. Give it total control. Whoa. Until your head's on fire. Until your body aches like a fever burning with desire. Will you do whatever it takes? Whoa. Stay
The thing I love about Andrew WK is he is just the greatest rock and roll motivational speaker out there, and his whole message is just to, stay true to your heart, but to just live and party and be happy and embrace life, and which to me is what the groove life's all about. And I'm sure he has his own bullshit and things that goes with it, but his whole thing is just, don't look at that stuff, step in and don't make apologies, just live your life and enjoy it. So
Or it was.
it was. Now he's dead by the.
Yeah.
I was looking at that picture thinking, what is he?
There's shit going on in there too.
Yeah.
He's got
there's
a
a-
T-shirt of
a-
this photo.
Stuffed
Yeah.
dog?
Yeah, and like is that a 7-Up bottle or something? I don't know.
Sprite, maybe?
And there's something living down in the sewer. I can see.
Ooh, the sewer's moving.
Yeah,
right now.
it is. Yeah.
Whoa. No, I loved how this had like the.
Oh yeah.
Underneath
What-
it.
It's got some wow.
When he resurfaces, if you've never seen an Andrew WK show, promise you will not be disappointed. It's amazing.
That's not him, right?
No, that's him.
That's him.
That is him. Okay.
Yeah, he always wears the dirty white T-shirt and white jeans.
And he's
And
out in the crowd with the
pea-stained
fans
jeans.
Yeah.
and very much among the people.
Have you seen him before?
I've never
Play?
seen him live,
Okay.
but I've seen plenty of videos.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good
Amazing.
choice. Good choice, man.
Yeah.
I'm to the point now. We've been doing the show long enough that I can hear like the first 10 seconds of a song and know if it's a Shane song or not. Like if I heard this out in the wild, I'd think of Shane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Out in the wild.
Out in
yeah.
the wild. Out in the real world.
I think it's a compliment. I'll take it.
1,000,000% it is.
Oh,
All right, Mike. I know. We just had a moment, didn't we?
you did.
Yeah. I love Logs.
All right, I'm doing an Ethel Cain song. This song is called Crush.
It'd be funny if it just showed up on the screen and she just laid on the street.
It's just a different person, but the exact same.
Same
scene.
exact picture.
Totally
be
made
wild.
that happen.
Yeah.
His windows already passed, so he's shooting at the glass, keeping guns in his locker, and he denies it like it's actually important. But he likes that shorted watch him showing up wearing black, and he knows that. His daddy's on death row, but I'll say it with his chest out. His friends moved out, he hasn't tried coke, but he's always had a problem saying now. His older brother backed a valedictorian. His mother said he's screaming, he should be more like him. In my mind, I've been watching you. Couldn't fall asleep, but you look so cool.
We all just got kind of mooned there. Sorry
We
about
did.
that, guys. I didn't know she's going to do that. And she's doing the Say Anything strut there as well on the street. With the boombox.
She just makes me want to smoke cigarettes again.
Oh, no.
Not really, though.
Turn the song off. Turn
It takes
off.
a
Turn it
lot.
off.
No, it would take a lot to get me to smoke cigarettes again, but it's a good memory.
Good song.
Her choruses always like grow like that. They start in the verses kind of like down, and then there's like doo doo doo, and gets really really big. I love the contrast in her music.
I think every time you've played one of her songs, I've been like, I've got to start listening to her, and then I forget about it. So
Like a
don't let me
microphone.
forget. Huh?
Like Brooks' microphone.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's also such
Dude, I have. By the way, I'm not going to go there, but I have more stories than that of things I have of people's. That
Oh, I can't even imagine.
yeah, I have a couple things of yours. We've
Probably
never even
do.
met. I'll get them to you. I promise.
We clean out the garage. And it's like, Dad, can we get rid of this yet? No, sorry. Actually, I need to give that back. So good.
I think once you have something for so long, it should just be yours. So.
Good point. Kids are that way. No one gave them to you.
Yeah, that's true.
Just keep them.
Keep them.
That's how the best thing is with our friend Jordan Meisner. We borrow power tools from him all the time. If we keep it for a month?
A couple months.
At least a couple months, he'll buy a new one and forget that he gave us his.
And then we'll say, dude, we have that. He goes, it's yours now.
That
I
works out.
already
That
bought
works
a new
out.
one. We're
Yeah.
like, great.
That's
It's
funny.
amazing.
So if he has a really nice tool, I just hide it.
Yeah, we
Don't
just
say
try to
nothing.
borrow him and forget to give him back all the time. So good.
Good song, Micah. I like it.
Try
I
it
like
with
a
his
lot.
car.
Yeah, no shit.
It's a good idea.
Good pick. Good song.
All right.
See? Fresh cigarette. They're not menthols.
A lot of smoking in that. That's like
Yeah.
a Tarantino movie.
Yeah, I know. That's true.
What do you have for us?
I have The Crystal Ship by The Doors. And we were talking earlier about drum corps. And when I was 13, this was like there's a moment in my life where there was like a genesis moment. I call them fragile moments that you have where you experience something, meet someone, answer the call, cross the street or whatever, and you have no way of knowing what that could lead to.
Right.
But it ends up like this supernova that becomes something. And for me, it
Like
was
us meeting.
like that. Yeah.
I'll cook. Anyway, go ahead.
I was 13. I was in Emerald Knights drum corps. I was too little to do much of anything other than carry cymbals. So I was playing cymbals in the corps. And after practice one night, a guy in the corps, Bob, and his girlfriend were going to take me home. We hopped into his convertible Mustang. And he's like, we got to go to the cemetery in Cedar Rapids. And just real quick, we want to sort of drive through there. There's a really cool monument or something. I can't remember what the draw was to get us there.
Sure.
But it's that one on Mount Vernon Road, the big cemetery that you pass as you're heading toward downtown on Mount Vernon Road
Yeah,
on the
it's
left.
on your left.
Yep, I know what you're
Exactly.
talking about. Yeah.
So imagine it's like dusk.
I'd hate to mow it.
I'd hate to mow any cemetery.
Yeah.
That sounds awful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was thinking about that the other day. I was like, I drove by a cemetery. I'm like, who mows these things?
Yeah.
There probably was a lot of weed eating because you'd have to get around every
A
stone.
lot of work.
Okay,
Yeah.
it's dusk.
There are some lazy cemeteries. I shouldn't say that. There are some cemeteries that don't allow above ground things so they can mow it easier. And
Oh,
I'm always
okay.
like, what? That's like telling your family, like,
Yeah, exactly. We have to be able to mow.
Sorry, it's too much work for us.
throw you here. This is the
Yeah.
Tupperware cemetery. No offense to anyone who's buried there.
Right.
Because they're listening. So
Yeah.
anyway, we're driving
might
to
be.
the cemetery.
It's dusk.
I'm in the back seat. He and his girlfriend in the front. And when we pull in the cemetery, he puts in the tape of the Doors' first album.
Oh,
and
shit.
it somehow was on Crystal Ship. It just started. And we're driving through a cemetery at night. I'm a kid just starting to experience freedom. You know, that age where you're sort of stepping over the line of like being a kid and being into kid stuff. And now it's like girls and music and whatever.
Cigarettes.
And cigarettes, which you are thankfully free of.
Yep, I am.
For good. And it was magical. There was like
Until I saw that video.
fire. Now you're going to smoke again. Tarantino did that to a lot of people.
I bet.
Pulp Fiction probably started more black lung in this country
Yeah,
than a
exactly.
coal mine.
Dude.
It was amazing. Fireflies around us. It was summer. It was just incredible. And it's one of my favorite Doors songs anyway. But to my point about this Genesis moment, hearing that band then led me to shortly thereafter see the movie Oliver Stone's The Doors, which I walked out of like sure that there's more in this world because I hadn't seen anything like that before, a biopic like that. It was
I never saw
earth-moving.
it.
It's actually you will respect it because of how it treats the music sequences.
No, I
you know
need
how
to
that's
see it.
oftentimes wrong in movies? Like they have the drums set up wonky and there's all this fake
Sure.
stuff. It's not the case in this movie. It's
It was
The
very
acoustic
attention to
player
detail.
looks at their hand to put a G on the fretboard.
or they just
Yeah.
strum like
Yeah.
like in that thing you do. And so that led to me putting this band together, which led to me hustling, which led to me booking the band, which led to me selling kids at school my stories, which
Yeah.
led to me, it led to everything. And in a
Right.
way, it all rolls back to this moment in that cemetery in Cedar Rapids.
That's so badass.
With this song playing. And the Doors changed my life. Bob changed my life on that day, and he had no idea.
Love it.
Let's hear it.
Slip into unconsciousness. I'd like to have another kiss, another flashing chance at bliss, another kiss, another kiss. The days are bright and filled with pain. clothes me in your gentle rain. The time you ran was too insane. We'll meet again. We'll meet again. Oh, tell me where your freedom lies. The streets are fields that never die. Deliver me from reasons why you'd rather cry.
So did this also get you into the Doors? Was this your intro to the
Yeah.
Doors, period?
Yeah.
In a fucking cemetery?
In a cemetery with that song.
Yeah,
Because
what were you?
he's so haunting. I mean, that's
I love him.
well, I
was-
mean, how many documentaries is there Doors music in? I mean,
Oh, yeah.
I feel
Well,
like
And
they're-
Apocalypse Now has the end playing over the opening explosions and stuff.
it's one of the most powerful voices as far as for haunting music, and then you got your Danzig that kind of had that vibe, and Typo Negative, and
Yeah.
some of these guys.
Yeah, yeah.
But man, Morrison was the one who started it all. Man, it just
And his concept of romance and everything, like what I learned about relationships and how life works and what love is, was from movies and books and music.
yeah,
And his dark version of romance always just really deeply resonated with me in a way, because it's acknowledging the potential for loss at the same time as celebrating the joy of the moment. And there's that kind of dichotomy always at play in their music and in his lyrics. And it's the same in his poetry, which is poetry's brilliant. And I just think his mind was, it was something really, really special. And that song, even though it's not a hit, it certainly wasn't one. It's not one you're going to hear on the radio.
Yeah.
But it's just it kind of speaks to what is the essence of the Doors in a lot of ways. Yeah.
I like that, dude. That's
Yeah.
great.
I just want to know what you guys were doing in the cemetery that night.
Driving around,
That's
slowly driving. They were holding hands. I mean, I think we stopped at it to see a couple monuments. There was enough light left that we could still sort of see our way around.
Okay.
And I've done that at the Iowa City, like where the Black Angel is. I've been to that. Have you been to the Black
No.
Angel? Oh my gosh. So you got Iowa City, I think, is it Oak Lawn? I can't remember what the cemetery is called there, but there's this legendary big black statue of an angel, and there's all this mythology around it.
Sure.
Like if you touch it, you die, or if you
Yeah.
leave flowers, then you get blessed with good tidings, whatever it is.
Right.
And so it's like this iconic thing to visit. And cemeteries are fascinating places anyway. I
They
love
are.
the different sculptures and all of that stuff. But
Yeah.
we were doing that. We were basically sightseeing in a cemetery, listening
Yeah.
to the Doors.
Yeah. Wow.
And I was 13 and very much swimming in the moment.
Man,
Crazy.
Can't
There's a
imagine.
lot of history in graveyards.
I do know that.
Yeah.
Thanks, Dad.
Well, dude, I could do a part 2 and a part 3 of this. This is really fun. Thank you for making
Well,
time for us.
thank
and,
you. I appreciate being
coming to
here.
our little studio here at Upload,
That's great.
hanging out with us. And so, what do you have coming up? Anything coming up right now that you're working on at the moment?
It's a steady roll of
Sure.
releases and things like that. My site is just my name, justinbeahm.com, and you can always look at upcoming soon releases and
Yeah.
previous releases and on IMDb and whatnot.
Very cool.
I think the next thing out is a Bewitched box set, which is like the full
Really?
series. Yeah. And then I can't even remember. There's so many.
Sure.
And I'm always on like just so many at a time.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
There's always a lot of stuff. And I'm working on volume 2 of the book. I'm working on a photo album of my dad as a railroad photographer all of his life since he was a kid. And he takes the most beautiful photos. And so I'm paying tribute to he's still here, paying tribute to my dad with
Yeah.
a book of his photography. I just picked up all of his slides and negatives today, and we're going to do a big beautiful coffee table book of that.
That's like what you were saying earlier, though, like how we forget to pay tribute to people while they're still
Yeah.
alive.
Yeah.
So that's beautiful.
And no one knows that about him. So few people know. Like they know my dad for different things, Chamber
That's
of
awesome.
Commerce, whatever
Yeah.
else.
Right.
But my mom. So it's one of the most exciting things I've ever embarked on is putting this book together for him.
So cool.
I love it. So if they want to pick up this travel book, your website would be?
Yeah, justinbeahm.com.
Is it in local anywhere? Or?
Yeah, you can get it at any bookstore.
Okay.
It's available anywhere online, Amazon and stuff like that too.
Yeah.
So yeah, thank you for asking.
Yeah, for sure, man.
course.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for being a part of this.
It's an honor.
Thank you. Yeah.
An honor.
Everybody, subscribe. Check out YouTube. We were a day late this week
You don't
on
have,
YouTube.
You don't have to point it out.
You don't have to echo that I pointed it out.
Okay. Well, either way, you're the one who posted it, so it's your fault.
That's okay. She's your daughter. Anyway, subscribe. Spotify. Give us 5 stars.
Like or comment. You could win
TikTok.
a pizza.
TikTok. And that's it.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys. See you later.
Thank you. Bye.
Welcome to the